prior to that, then therefore we need to understand an individual is classified into 4 different set of men. And so that's what his classification is all about. We need to understand. First is economic man. This is a guy who is very rational about everything. He's a one due to various reasons into a state of this thing, that he takes decisions only after rational evaluation of various options available to him. This is be it a product, be it a service, but he needs an information. He needs to collect information if need be, set the merits of it, compare it, understand the demerits, etc. Price versus what you offer, that also he will compare. What others are offering, that he will see. So he gets into quite a rational evaluation before deciding something that is right for him. Therefore, he is known as an economic man. Such assumption, what we are trying to say, ability of an individual is limited. So here it was trying to tell you that he can do all these things. Therefore, he is an economic man. The next statement says, however, an individual may not be able to do all these things. So they have limited mind frame, they have limited knowledge, they have immediate needs, etc. They have a planned need in front of them. So they are operating in so-called a dynamic, imperfect world. So can he take rational decisions, after doing so many things? Individuals will not be in a position to maximize the decisions, such as price, quantity, or indifference curves, etc. There is elasticity, etc. He has no control. He is driven by various forces around him. So in the sense, in India, still a time has to come where at 106 rupees a litre also people are buying petrol. Petrol level has touched the pre-COVID level. So it's like consumer is not exercising what he's supposed to, being a rational and economic man, because of his limitations. Okay, he knows that he says in an imperfect world, and he says कि ये तो जरूरी है, तो I am spending that much money. So on other end he will criticize also. So how can this be a right man to approach? That's comes as a question. So what has been put forward is individuals will settle down to satisfy themselves by buying something that is just good enough. So what it says also, that in a difficult situation there is a trade-off, and this guy goes and settles for something that closely matches what his requirements are. Therefore, what it says that why this model is more theoretical, depends on certain values which may not be operative in the real world. So that's what assumption with this particular kind of a guy is kind of considered as not appropriate. Then comes the passive man, is one who's subject to high pressure. He's the one who's driven by how he's been exposed to, how he's been pressurized in terms of need, want, desire, etc. And he plays into the communication that he faces by the marketing, various stimuli that marketers offer him. So he yields to those actively, and he tends to be irrational and impulsive. So he will not think too much, and if he sees an offer is very strong offer, he will get into it. So conventional attention, interest, desire, that is IDA model of selling, presumes a passive customer. So it is trying to connect you. Okay, these people who follow that IDA, attention, interest, desire, and action, are supposed to be the passive people. So that is passive man or passive customer. True or false for us to gauge if we learn more about consumer behavior. A man seeks information about product alternatives and selects the product from which he derives the maximum satisfaction. So he is often faced with the choice of different products. Each have a power to satisfy him to a level. Given a situation, this guy tries to take a product which gives him the maximum satisfaction. So he will not rationalize about various other aspects. Then comes the cognitive man. This is a guy who's considered as a one who seeks and solves his problem by seeking product and services that satisfy his need, improve quality of life, and have a base in his decision making, which is thoughtfulness, thoughtfulness by which he has taken the decision. His choices are governed by certain process, certain criteria, information, evaluation, he gets into those aspects. However, in the information man or the economy man, it was in a different context. While here this guy obtains information, gathers this thing, but it is duly evaluated. In the previous one, in economic, it is kind of concluded that the men have a limitation to evaluate so many things. Here, the evaluation is a prime force. Okay, before you arrive at your reference. So, cognitive man obtains sufficient information, the desired sufficient information, so that he can take a wise call and select a reasonably good product meeting most of his need. So that's a cognitive man. He may develop certain practical methods. Each man will arrive his own way of evaluation and may use certain decision making rules also, and he will work within those limits. He thus falls between the purely rational economic man and purely irrational passive man. He is somewhere between them. Though he is not in a position to take a perfect decision, he attempts to take a satisfactory decision. It means he evaluates various pros and cons and then takes the decision. His consumption decisions are based on information, thus thought through in nature. So, information drives his comparison, derivation of decisions, etc. So, it is presumed that he is thoughtfully done. He is a well-informed man. He is as a cognitive problem-solving man. So, by thinking, he is able to articulate himself for him what is the solution, best solution for his problem. The another one is the emotional man. Here the heart and mind plays the overpowering role. He is driven by the powerful emotion which he is subjecting himself to. Therefore, his decisions are neither economic nor cognitive nor not necessarily passive or thoughtful, etc. They are choices driven by what is emotionally connecting him. So gets emotionally involved, and he wants to get involved in various need articulation, need determination, decision making, etc. So that's where he is like decision belongs to him. That is what he believes. He is also driven by cultural values, etc. So, like for example, handkerchief cannot be gifted. That's what is kind of a prevailing thought in the society. He believes it. He will be strongly doing that kind of thing. Okay. While there is another example which is given, certain colors are lucky for us. We like certain brands deeply, knowing why we get attracted to this brand. So, for example, Old Spice or Raymond's and more. So, we are driven, we are emotionally connected with this brand. Thumbs up, taste the thunder, that charge that they show. So, we feel that charge is me, charge is within me, and that's how we connect. So, we are emotionally driven. So, that's an emotional man. Many of our purchases are driven by emotional conditioning. Emotional conditioning means the exposure that we get, and that exposure tunes us, to respond in a particular way, governed by the moods and whims, etc. Also, that's a part of it. The goal of emotional satisfaction is also a rational decision. Brand choice is a matter of emotional preference and has a little to do with rationality. Say Manish Malhotra's clothes. Something which is available in say few hundred or thousand, why somebody is paying lakhs of rupees? That's a question. So it is not about rationality out there. It is an emotional. Oh, I am wearing Manish Malhotra's clothes. So that's what drives these people towards that. So that's an emotional man.